In fact, Parisha caught up with the NITI Aayog VC at the event.
Farm loan waiver is not a solution to agricultural sector problems. For that, you have to modernize the agricultural sector. You have to create agripreneurs. You have to, you have to highlight. You have to emphasize much more the value addition. You have to bring down the costs, etc. However, farm loan waiver is the state government prerogative, and if and when the state governments find that the distress among the farming community is so acute as a result of whatever situation that they've been, then I think they are entitled to do so, and they will look at their own fiscal situation while doing so. So our view in NITI Aayog is very clear. It's not a solution, but it's a palliative, which the state governments are most in their right, to exercise, if and when they see that there is a need for that.
So, but if state governments breach their fiscal deficit target, doesn't it threaten our economy as a whole?
Well, it does create a macroeconomic impact, and therefore I think there is a constraint that is imposed on them through the RBI, which is the sort of the advances that they get. So there is, if the state governments don't have unlimited space for borrowing and to raise their borrowing levels, so that then itself means that there is a limited space available there. At the same time, I expect that this sort of issue will be looked at much more by the 15th Finance Commission, which will pronounce on this, as the earlier finance commissions have done. So you're right that the state fiscal situations does impact the overall macro, but in this we continue to interact with the states and and discuss with them what is the optimal way forward. But again, as I said, the ultimate responsibility and the right is theirs.
So if not farm loan waivers, then what, sir? Because we definitely cannot ignore the fact that farmers are under a lot of stress and something needs to be done. So what way should the government go to bring the farmers out of the stress?
No, this is where the NITI Aayog document lays down a very clear strategy of how to modernize the Indian agricultural sector, how to raise productivity levels there, how to raise value addition, how to improve yields by adopting modern methods. For example, irrigation techniques, the use of water, the use of the diversification of agriculture away from cereals to horticulture, floriculture, the blue economy, the marine economy, etc. So all of those things are there. And what we are saying is that at the same time, the farmers should have the freedom to sell wherever they like. The GST has ensured that there are no interstate restrictions now in the movement of agriculture goods. We hope that as logistics improve, it will be done. So, but these are medium-term issues. And but the important point is to accept them and to start working on them today. If you do, then in the next 3 or 4 years, you will find a farming sector which is free from all these problems and distresses.
So I would like to digress a bit. The inflation has been under control recently, and so do you think it's the right time for RBI to go ahead with rate cuts?
I think so, because our real cost of capital, our real interest rates are exceptionally high. And if you compare them across the world, I doubt if there is any other country with real cost of capital which is as high as what it is today. And I think not only just that, but I think the RBI should also be looking very seriously at opening a window for the NBFCs, for them to be able to get access to credit without having to shrink their balance sheets, because that is the need of the hour. The need of the hour is to reinforce the incipient capital recovery that has started, and that can be done by both these measures.
So my last question to you: a new RBI governor has been brought in. So how do you expect things to go differently in terms of reserve transfer or liberalization of PCA norms? How do you expect things to be different now on?
Well, those are very specific questions, and I don't want to comment on that. But I just do want to comment that I think I repeat what the FMS said yesterday, that the new governor will ensure that the RBI maintains its autonomy, but is not isolationist in its approach as so far has been.